want to ask you about the sources of disinformation. Who is creating this? Is it individuals, political groups, or even entities outside the United States? I'm assuming it's all of the above, but what do you know about each of those parties?
Yeah, it really is all of the above, right? It's everyone from Candace Owens, who's a very popular right-wing commentator who's under a lot of fire this week for recent anti-Semitic comments. It's global billionaire CEOs like Elon Musk who took over Twitter to be able to spread disinformation and rage bait for reasons that are still unclear to everyone outside of his ego. It's traditional right wing media like Fox News and their social reach through their commentators and their viewers online. And then it is foreign governments and bad actors from Russia and China. We've started to see an uptick. The US government has put out a lot of reports of an uptick in intentional disinformation by Chinese actors on to essentially sow division within US electorate circles in this country. So we don't have a handle on this. We truly don't. I don't want to give false hope to your listeners, but we have to be really vigilant. And again, disinformation does not have as much of an impact if the same volume of factual information that counters it reaches people in the same places at the same time. So you can't have New York Times articles reaching people on their algorithm, which are subscribers and high educated, wealthy individuals, while the disinformation is reaching everyone else and they're not seeing those New York Times articles. You've got to reach people where they are at the same time. And that parity actually slows the spread of the disinformation quite significantly.
But it seems like if that is going to happen, the algorithms have to change.
There is a lot of things that the social media platforms could do to eradicate a lot of disinformation. They could never eradicate it completely. It is a game of whack-a-mole. There is no question about that. But there are a lot of things that they can and have done in the past that they have decided to no longer do at the interest of their bottom line, because when they turn off the spigots of disinformation or they turn up the volume of verified sources and facts, they lose engagement and money in the form of ad dollars. And so they are making a very intentional business decision to keep the disinformation economy they have helped create in place.
Doesn't the federal government have an incentive to regulate that? And why aren't we doing that? Is it because we're just gridlocked from a party perspective?
I think there's some of that. I think that there are a lot of competing priorities. It's very hard to get things done with the way that our government is currently structured. If one party had the White House, the Senate, and Congress, a lot more things could get done in general, for better or for worse. Depending on what side of the issues you're on. But it has not been deemed a priority. I think where there is a lane that we might get to see some action is this new focus on children and mental health crisis, because we've seen mental health issues arise in younger generations, suicide rates increase, eating disorders among younger girls in particular increase. These are issues that affect everyone's kids, regardless of party or politics. So my hope is that could bring about some regulation of the platforms. It's not made it over the finish line yet.